What's going on? It's your boy Lionel, class of 2009, back with another episode of PV versus everybody. And I appreciate y'all for giving me some time to get myself together. Hey, listen, this is a long day. I just realized, that I just realized some stuff, but we're gonna talk about that in a second. But hey, man, I'm excited because we're only a couple days away from week 2, about to be able to begin, about to start, right? And for everything that has happened to be able to be rectified and corrected. I'm excited about correction. Wait, raise your hand if you're excited about correction. I see you out there. I see you out there. Raise your hand. Because listen, it's that time of the year. And each week is important. Now, this week is going to be an out of conference week for many of, SWAC, MEAC schools. But at the end of the day, it's another week to be able to get back on the field and to move in a positive direction. So I'm super interested in seeing what we look like as we come out on the field this weekend. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, right? Because I was able to preview a little bit of Northwestern. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So first and foremost, man, you know what it is this week, man. We're going through our title pie, updated title pie after week 0 and week 1 of HBCU football. We also got our HBCU week 1 top 10 list. And also, like I said, man, we're going to be doing a review of PV and Northwestern State. I think y'all going to be really interested in that, man. First and foremost, starting off, y'all already know how we do. Listen, follow us over on Instagram and on Twitter, man. Listen, my guy, Janarius, is getting us right on Instagram, man. He just dropped some graphics for PV Fantasy Football that look just awesome, okay? It just looks awesome, all right? So I really appreciate him. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And bringing his skills and expertise. You know, he's a guy who's super dope on the graphics, man. And so I hope as you seeing him, you know what I mean, combine his work with the PV versus Everybody channel, that you guys will check it out. And hey, listen, if you're in need of some graphics yourself, man, he is available, right? You know what I'm saying? And so definitely support him. He is a PV alum, right? You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, definitely support the young man as he's continuing to grow himself, his business, his platform, right? Especially if you're in need of graphics yourself. Now, listen, I need y'all to go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. Listen, we're trying to do big things out here. All right. We're almost to our goal of 600 subs. What's the goal? 600 subs, right? The goal is 600 subs, man. And so we're almost to the goal already. And so all you got to do is hit that subscribe button. I know a lot of y'all over here be watching. I know a lot of y'all be checking it out, right? Because I be seeing it in the background, the analytics, you know what I'm saying? That y'all be checking it out, but y'all are not, y'all watching, but y'all not following though. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't subbing. You feel me? Go and show some love, man. Subscribe to the channel. Try to do some big things over here. The goal is 600 subscribers. And listen, we're almost there, right? You know, we're only a handful away, and you can be a part of those handful, man, if you go ahead and show some love and subscribe to the channel, right? So definitely go ahead and do that, man. Also, I remind each and every one of you guys, right, that, hey, we got the 1876 Alliance, right? That's not just in the works, right? It's already together, right? And so, you know, they're putting everything together so that they can launch and give you guys the information for how you can support as we're looking to build on this NIL foundation that's being started here. Because listen, we have the opportunity to be able to do and to benefit the student athletes that's coming to PV. And I know that this is one way that we can do that by having this collective in place that's going to be able to go out and get and help athletes to present themselves in the best way, that all of them have the ability to go and get some great NIL deals, no matter what sport they're playing, no matter what their skill level is, right? Because this is for the benefit of all student athletes, right? On all sides of the ball, right? On the field, on the court, everywhere, right? And so super excited about the 1876 Alliance, man, and hope you guys are going to support as that information has come out. Also remind you, listen, we got the recap show Sundays at 8. All right. Sundays at 8, we got the recap show. And listen, we got something special right now brewing for the recap show. Gonna be a slight, you know what I'm saying, a slight rebranding, because we're gonna have somebody really special that's gonna be joining the recap show. Mr. Carey is special. All right, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm special, you feel me? So we special, but man, we're gonna have another co-host that's gonna be joining the show very soon that I think you guys are going to really, really enjoy, because their insight into the game is just on another level. And so, hey, keep that in your thoughts and in your mind, man, because the recap show is about to go up to another level when we bring this co-host on, man. And so I know you guys are really, really, really going to enjoy the commentary and the conversation over there as we recap all of HBCU's football every Sundays at 8 o'clock. All right, so be on the lookout for that. Also, listen, we were doing a little film review, man, of Northwestern a little bit earlier. Now, I didn't realize, like I was saying, I didn't realize kind of how, you know, YouTube be hating sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of flagged it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of, you know, so we're going to have to, I'm going to put it back up, right, you know what I'm saying, and going to do it and kind of clip it up a little bit more. So that way, you know, it you know, YouTube ain't going to remove it, you feel me? Because, you know, hey, I'm still learning in these streets, right? Now, obviously, hey, listen, this is for the members, right? I appreciate those. We got 4 members, man. I appreciate all my members, right? Who have, you know, joined and gotten a membership. And so this is some members only content that we're doing, man. Gonna try to do something special for the members. You know, each week we're looking to do something for them special, right? So this film review is going to be specifically for the members, right? I think you guys will enjoy it, right, as we go and kind of look at, you know, some of the different things that Northwestern is going to be doing and trying to do this weekend, and some of the unique challenges they're going to be presenting to us, right? So I think you guys will really enjoy this. So I'm gonna go back and kind of clip it up a little bit. It's already there, right? But I just need to clip it a little bit so that way, it won't get flagged by ESPN or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm using a couple of plays and stuff that's there. So definitely check that out, right? You probably gonna see that tomorrow, right? Because I'll probably go back and clip that up tonight. So definitely check that out. All right. Next thing is, hey, listen, you already know, man, my guy Jeff, man, listen, if you're ready to buy a home and don't know where to start, hey, this PV alumni, Jeff McKissick, Texas licensed loan officer with Fairway Independent Mortgage Company, will guide you seamlessly through the home buying process. See, many of us are unaware of our credit score, of our true financial situation, but Jeff will help you develop a step-by-step plan to improve your financial standing, making your dream of owning a home achievable sooner than later, right? Jeff understands, hey, your financial situation may not be perfect, but that's okay. The sooner you start the conversation, the sooner you two can solve the problems like credit issues and student loan debt. So don't let fear of achieving new heights hold you back from getting the home of your dreams, right? Perfect for your growing family are hosting those PV watch parties. And y'all know how we be doing at those watch parties, right? So get started now on taking the first steps towards your new home and taking the next big step in your life. So don't delay. Talk to Jeff today so you can be in your new home tomorrow. And again, he looks forward to speaking with you soon. And hey, make sure y'all come out and support all PV athletics all year long. So again, man, hey, get in contact with my guy, Jeff, man. He's going to help you through the process because you got to have a place, you know what I'm saying, to have those PV watch parties at, man. So for sure, definitely shouts out to my guy, Jeff, man. So first and foremost, man, as we going to jump start, and yes, we got Kirk Martin, man. Shouts out to Kirk. As you see, he got the icon there, man. He's the first member of the PV versus Everybody channel. So super shout out to Kirk Martin, man. Got some special dropping just for you. Again, right? You know what I mean? I'm learning in these YouTube streets. So kind of like, got a little flagged a little bit, but don't worry, I'm going to get it back up, right? Because I think you guys will enjoy that. So first and foremost, what's going on, D Black, man? Appreciate you for being in the building. Jess, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate you. Hey, listen, we definitely won't swing before kickoff. You know what I'm saying? That boy QK, you know what I'm saying? QK with the alley-oop, you know what I'm saying? And we about to dunk it home here at the PV versus Everybody channel. And yeah, we're going to get into that Northwestern today. My guy Tyrese, what's going on, my guy? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, everybody's in the building tonight, man. So I appreciate y'all. Say, I think this show will improve in viewing once Scotty moved most of his content off YouTube, which I think is a bad move. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. So you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So let's get into it. First and foremost, hey, listen, I don't know if you guys knew, but PV Fantasy Football is back. And now this year we're doing something a little bit different, right? So we're going to have weekly winners and we're going to have a yearly winner, right? We're going to crown a season champion, right? So every week is super important. Now, you still early on. So if you haven't played fantasy football as of yet, you still got an opportunity to get in on it, right? You know what I'm saying? And to get involved, because each and every week is gonna be super important. So if you didn't play this week, listen, don't let that stress you. Obviously, right? We ain't put up as much points as we wanted to, right? So that means boys ain't really go crazy like that, right? We had one person that go crazy, but other than that, right, we have a whole bunch of people go crazy. So that's the good thing, you know what I'm saying? You still within reach because we're gonna crown a year champion, right? The champion for 2024 for PV Fantasy Football. So if you're interested in getting involved and playing PV Fantasy Football, right? We created this, right, so that we can get to know the players a little bit better, right? So we can actually know and understand who they are. You know what I'm saying? And so this is an opportunity. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link right now. You know what I'm saying, in the chat, so you guys can go and check that out. But listen, we got to choose different players. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be able to get a running back, wide receiver, tight end, a flex player on offense, defensive lineman, linebacker, defensive back, and a flex player on defense, right? Of course, don't do the quarterback because typically you have one quarterback. We play two quarterbacks, right? But that's not typical, right? So, we give you a chance, right, to choose different players. And again, right, it's to highlight the players. That's the whole point of it. That's the whole point behind it, right? And so starting off, hey, listen, after 1 week, the man that's in first place last year, he showed up a lot on this podium, on this leaderboard, and he's back again. None other than that bad man, Brandon Lee, class of 2004 and 2008. Second place, Zay Wilson, Isaiah, 31.4 points. All right, this first week. And then Richard Atiba, class of 2014, with 30.8 points. Listen, we got a lot of new blood on the podium. Like, where the old heads at, right? Where the old heads who know PV football? Where y'all at? Because right now the young bucks is like is kind of handling business, right? You know what I'm saying? Where my class of 1980s at, 1990s at, I need y'all to get in on it, right? I just dropped the link in the chat so you guys can get in on PV Fantasy Football and play this week. Make sure you get your picks in by tomorrow. All right, if you don't get your picks in by tomorrow, they ain't gonna count. So make sure it's in by Friday. You know what I'm saying, at 5 o'clock. So that's the cutoff time. We got the cutoff day, right? But right now, this is the leaderboard, right? You know, the top three right now on the podium. And again, each and every week we're gonna be adding the points together, and we're gonna crown a champion for the year 2024. And we're putting something special together for the champion, right? So listen, you wanna get in on it, man, because we're trying to do something super special for our PV Fantasy Football champion this year. Now, not only are we doing PV Fantasy Football, but we're also doing something special. Your boy is doing something super special. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, the millennials is in the building. They taking over. What's good, Jared, man? You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, you got to get on the podium, my guy. All right? Can't be letting these brothers kill you like this. You know what I'm saying? Now, listen, not only doing PV Fantasy Football, we doing HBCU Fantasy Football this year too as well, right? And so I reached out to some other brothers and sisters right across the podcast community because I said, hey, y'all be talking like y'all know HBCU fantasy football. So we gonna really see if you know HBCU fantasy football like that. You gonna see if you really know HBCU football. We gonna really see if you know the players like that, right? And so week one, we dropped it. So I just want to show y'all the leadership board right now for week one of HBCU fantasy. As you see, your boy is in second place. All right, your boy is in second place. Now, hey, I know where I messed up at, but it's okay. This week we're gonna get it in. Now, Blue is taking first place. I know y'all know Blue over on the Blue Blood. Zach McKinnell, man, 71.4 points he dropped this week. Like he just went crazy this week. I ain't gonna lie, right? But you see, your boy is there. I'm there. I'm within reach. I'm at 61.85. All right, I'm within reach. Now, my boy G is way down on the list right there, 26.75. So y'all make sure y'all tell G over there swacking the food, like, you know what I'm saying, to get his game up. Because like right now he at the bottom of the bear. All right. You know what I'm saying? He gotta work his way back up. But we're gonna be doing this every week too as well, man. Just this HBCU Fantasy Football Challenge too. So make sure y'all on the lookout for that. You can follow HBCU Fantasy on Instagram and HBCU Fantasy over on Twitter as well, right? Because that's where we're going to be dropping some information just about, again, right? This is another way to highlight our HBCU athletes, our HBCU players, you know what I'm saying, just across the Twitter sphere, across Instagram, right? And again, just to show these guys some more love for everything that they're doing, that they got going on. And again, shouts out to my guy, Janarius Housey, man. He's been helping me with the graphics and things for both PV Fantasy Football and HBCU Fantasy, man. And so you guys are going to be able to check out some of his graphics work, you know, as the year continues to progress. So as we got going on now, I know you guys what you guys been waiting for. I know what you guys been. I know why you're here. I know why you're here. All right. I know you're here to see this top 10 list. You know what I'm saying? I know you're here to see the top 10 list. All right. Before we talk about the bounce back that's about to happen this weekend, because Jeff, you already know my guy. Jeff, the bounce back is happening this weekend. All right. But before we get there, right, I know y'all here for this top 10 list. Now listen. I want y'all to I want you to drop in your comments. What is your top 5 right now? I just want to know what your top 5 is right now. Y'all drop in the comments what your top 5 right now. I just want to see if y'all thinking like I'm thinking, if y'all trekking like I'm trekking, or we on completely different pages right now. You know what I'm saying? If you had to drop your top 5 right now at this moment, what would be your top 5? Y'all let me know. What would your top 5 be? Shouts out to Janarius. Definitely shouts out to Janarius. I see you, Carlos, in the chat. Appreciate you for stopping by. My guy, True Secrets as well in the building, man. Yes, and definitely shouts out to all the SWAC channels all across doing big things. What's your top 5, man? Y'all drop in the chat. Y'all let me know. Also, if you want to call in, let me get the call-in number up as well. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to call in, man, 516-253-3434. If y'all want to call in and share y'all thoughts, let me get that up for you guys too as well. If you want to call in and share your thoughts.
You are the only participant in the conference.
All right. HBCU top 5. So listen, let's get into it, man. While I'm waiting on y'all, you know what I'm saying? Because I guess you guys ain't even thought about what y'all top 10 list is right now. But let's get into it. Listen. Oh yeah, no, for sure, definitely. Hey, listen, it gotta be. Hey, they gotta be. That's a fact, mature. You know what I'm saying? Texas Southern just came in and handled business. They gotta be. That's how this thing should work. Okay. So listen, y'all see my list right here. All right. First and foremost, listen, FAMU has to be listed number one. They gotta be. All right. At the end of the day, they've been challenged twice. They've been challenged 2 times, right? You know what I'm saying? They've been challenged 2 times. I see you, True Seeker. I guess that may be a SWAC, top 5. You know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking about HBCU as a whole, right? SWAC top 5. You know what I'm saying? Carlos got FAM, NCU, and Morgan. So listen, we on the same page. So we on the same page then. All right. But listen, FAMU gotta be listed as number one right now. At the end of the day, Norfolk came in and tested them. All right, with that running game that they got, and they fell down, but they was able to get back up, take their lumps, and get out of there, right? It's just like a top fighter, man, coming and taking blows, coming and taking shots. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Said having TSU number 2 is wow. TSU's not. I don't got TSU number. Oh, you talking about Truth Seeker? I see. Yeah. That's kind of high for me. You know what I'm saying? But listen. They took that blow of Norfolk. They took South Carolina's best shot, bro. South Carolina had them down 11 going into the fourth quarter. And listen, they was able to get out with a win. And there's something about, at the end of the day, hey, listen, I say it all the time, right? There's a thing, you got to learn how to win. Teams have to learn how to win. And that's a team, that's a program that has learned how to win, right? No matter what we think Norfolk is going to be or what South Carolina State is going to be, because many people don't have neither one of them finishing in the top 3 in the MEAC. A lot of people don't. South Carolina State is a surprise team for many people, right? Sleeper team for many people. But most people, right, don't have that team as a team that is going to finish in the top 3. But regardless, man, it's something about being battle tested, about going in and getting out. That's just the reality of the situation, right? That's just the truth. That's just the reality of the situation. So now, when you talk about FAM, they got to be one, right? NCCU. Now, I don't think Walker Harris had the best of showings on that Sunday, right? I don't think this past Sunday Walker Harris had the best of showings. I'm not going to say that at all, right? I think he only threw for 116 yards, I believe, right? You know what I'm saying? The running game looked good for NCCU, though, right? They was able to move the ball on the ground very well, very effective. That, hey, listen, their special teams look special. And they was able to get out of that game with Alabama State with the win, even with Andrew Body just putting on his Superman cape. Because if Andrew Body didn't put on his Superman cape, that game wouldn't even been a game. That would have been a blowout. That's a blowout without Andrew Body putting on Superman cape. And he had a Superman cape on with one hand tied behind his back. That's the reality, right? You know what I'm saying? So NCCU, listen, it's a top 25 program from this past year that come in, that handle business against Alabama State. You got to have them number 2. But now, this is probably where it starts to get, where the water starts to get a little murky to me, right? Because 1-2 should be 1-2, right? And I understand if you got Howard, because you say, man, Howard at the end of the day beat NCCU last year. I get you. I understand that, right? But listen, Morgan State, man, I told y'all, I was on other shows and I told them, listen, Morgan State's gonna average more than 23 points this year. That was my big statement. It was one of my big statements of the HBCU season this year. Like Morgan, they offense is gonna turn it up, right? And Morgan State put up 30 points against Hampton. Now, when the last time you heard of Morgan putting up 30 points? That's crazy, right? With that defense. Now, the defense gave up 28 points. So it's a little bit slide from what they used to, right? You know what I'm saying? It's a little give and take. But if Morgan can continue to score and put the ball in the end zone, continue to have a running game, they're going to be trouble. They're going to be a problem, man, even in the MEAC. And even when you talk about them playing against some of these other schools that they're going to be running up against and facing. So I got Morgan sitting at number 3. Again, you got a lot of teams, right, haven't had a real chance to really see competition that you really can judge them truthfully on, right? So that's the same I got with Howard, right? So I leave Howard there at number 4. Jackson looked very, very solid, I would say, right? On offense and defense against ULM. And again, at the end of the day, ULM is an FBS program. I don't know why we were speaking and talking as if ULM not an FBS program. They are, right? They're probably the worst FCS program in the country, but they're an FBS program. And there's just a different level between FCS programs and FBS programs. This is the reality. There's a difference between SWAC, MEAC programs and FBS. I wouldn't say MEAC, right? SWAC programs and FBS programs. There's a difference, right? That's just a difference. Now, if you're talking about somebody from the Big Sky, oh yeah, for sure, I'm picking them over ULM, right? You know what I'm saying? You saw what Montana State was able to do against New Mexico. So but we're not talking about the same thing, right? This is a different conversation. So Jackson, though that game was closer than the end score would show you, 30-16, right? But at the end of the day, ULM comes out the victory. But I think Jackson showed that they can play solid, right? They definitely have a running back room that is deep. Because even though Irv wasn't there, it's like, man, you didn't miss him, right? With the freshman, you know what I'm saying, with Miller. So, I mean, they got a great running back room. Question is really going to be how TC dials it up. I think people thought he was really conservative this past game. And maybe he was because he didn't want the game to get away. He wanted to keep it close to the chest, maybe. But, the passing game is really going to be the question, right? Because can Jacoby Morgan, move the ball through the air consistently, right? Because they got the running game, right? Tennessee State, man, listen, put up big numbers against Mississippi Valley. They did what they're supposed to do, go in there and get a double-digit plus win. Obviously, they got North Dakota State coming up, so that's going to be a really good game to really test them and see who they are and what they are. But this is a team that had an opportunity to do to cause some damage, right? To finish somewhere, not just mid-pack, but they're hoping that they can push to that top 3, possibly playing for a chance to win that conference, that OVC, right? Big South OVC this year. And so Tennessee State, man, I got them listed at number 6. South Carolina State, listen, they had a great showing at FAMU, a team that pushed last year's national champs to the brink. Just couldn't close the deal, right? Just couldn't close the deal. But this is a team that's definitely going to be a team to reckon with. They're going to be in a lot of close games. And so I got South Carolina State listed at number 7. And number 8, listen, Norfolk. Norfolk, again, I only can judge them. I judge them off the East Carolina game, but against FAMU, right? What did they show? I think they played very well. They played very solid. And so I got them listed at number 8. If they're a team that can keep the game, keep the time of possession and win that battle each week, they're going to be a chance to be in the game, right? Because they got a great running back room as well, right? Obviously, Kevin King up top. That's the main guy for them. And so the question is, right, I think they do need to mix in the pass a little bit more, right? Because I think that game against FAMU, I think if they would have mixed in the pass a little bit more, they would have won that game because the quarterback, I think, was like 6 for 8 or 6 for 9 or something like that, right? His percentage wasn't crazy, right? And he hit on a couple big throws. I think they really should have stretched the passing game out a little bit more. And they probably would have came out the victory against FAMU. So that's going to be something we got to watch and see. But Norfolk, I got them listed at number 8. And listen, Texas Southern, like D say, can't believe TSU came in and gave us that work, right? You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. They came in, they got the victory. They did what they were supposed to do, right? And I've always said, y'all have heard me say on this channel many times, I think TSU had the individual pieces. It's like they just never became a team. They always had individual pieces, just like they could never put it together. And so some of them same individual pieces on the team this year, they were able to put together in this first game, man. It came out with that victory, 27-9 here in PV. And so I got them listed at number 9 right now. And number 10, Alabama A&M. I have them there because I think they have something. If they, again, I said it in the offseason, if they lean on that run game, say, hey, we're going to be a run-first team, quarterback, running back, we're going to lean on offensive line. I think even though it played Auburn right, I think to me it's like, okay, you see that, okay, this offensive line is a line that if they can play a little bit against these SEC boys, then what could they do right against FCS competition or SWAC competition? So, again, this is just – this A&M pick is more also just a pick of, man, you really don't like what you saw from Alcorn. I really didn't like what I saw from Grambling, right? Obviously, I was very disappointed in PV. You know what I'm saying? And so at the end of the day, this is a pick that I'm like, okay, this is more – that 10th spot is more of a spot that is really open, right? You know what I'm saying? And so this week I think will help to determine a little bit more what really kind of where teams are, especially if some teams play some competition that's a little bit more comparable. You don't have a lot of teams that's playing big FBS opponents this week, right? Playing opponents that should be more of a in a competition range with them. And so it's going to be interesting to see what happened this week, right? But I'm really waiting to see Alcorn play against like McNeese, not even Edward Waters, right? Really, they're going to be their fourth week, right? There's really the one that's going to kind of, I think, show what they are and where they settle down at, because Edward Waters, they should be able to handle them, right? But a lot of D2 teams this year is feeling like they can give these D1 HBCUs a run for their money, because next week is a lot of people. This weekend they feel like a lot of people on upset alert. So that's my top 10 list right now, man. True Seeker says he got NCCU first, FAMU, Morgan, TSU, and then Howard. All right, so that's his top 5. I see Ty says FAMU, Morgan State, North Carolina Central, Howard, and Jackson. All right, I'm not mad at that either, because listen, Morgan played well. All right, and then we got Jimmy, FAMU, North Carolina Central, Tennessee State, Howard, and TSU. So we got a couple people with TSU up top. And listen, at the end of the day, they're in the driver's seat right now. So if they can keep it going, they're gonna be in good position. Now they got a tough schedule this year, though. They got a really tough schedule this year. So they play both Jackson and FAM. So that's kind of that can be something that even when you come down, because it's talking about the SWAC West of the last 4 years, right? Team won it with 2 losses, 3 losses, right? So teams can possibly win it with 2 or 3 losses. The question is, who did you lose to, right? And so that's definitely going to be a factor late in the season. So I don't like ranking HBCUs that can't be in the Celebration Bowl. North Carolina Central, NCA&T, Tennessee State, Hampton need to come back. Hey, Tennessee State saying this that year, right? You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see on Tennessee State. But it is kind of hard, right? Because, the competition is not necessarily spot on, right? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But let's get to it, man. Talking about, this Northwestern squad, talking about what kind of challenges they're going to pose, for PV this year. Like I said, we do have a film review that I got. So those who are members, you're going to be able to check that out, on early tomorrow. You're going to be able to see that. But let's just look at some of the stats from this past game, man. I'm going to pull that up so you guys can kind of see what went on. And then you guys can kind of, we can kind of talk and discuss some of the things I saw and some of the challenges I think they're going to present to PV. And then some of the things that also I think, man, that that I would want to see from us, right? You know what I'm saying? So first and foremost, let me pull up this from that last game as well. And then I also want to see, I want to show you guys, I'm going to just show you guys 2 plays that make that to help you understand why I'm still, like I say, right, I'm still sitting comfortable in my bandwagon right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm still super comfortable sitting in my bandwagon right now, right? I'm going to just show y'all 2 plays so y'all can get an understanding of why I feel like I feel, right? All right. But let's pull up these stats, man. These box scores from this last game. We'll just run through it real quick. Let me pull this up for you guys. All right. Share screen. Boom, boom, boom. And again, that call-in number is down low, 516. There we go. 516-253. There we go. 253-3434. So if you guys want to call in and share your thoughts, man, on anything that we shared this evening, HBCU top 10 list, you're talking about the game Northwestern and PV. Any other thoughts, just call in. Yeah, so one thing for sure, Northwestern has a big quarterback. Now, it's crazy, man. You go down Northwestern's roster, right? Northwestern has so many Houston area guys on their team. It's actually crazy. Like I was looking, I'm like, man, they got a lot of guys from Houston area. So this quarterback they got is a redshirt freshman coming out of Katie Foster, right? So sorry, Katie, I think is not Katie Foster. Let me look it up real quick because Katie, let me see. Coming out of Katy, Texas, and I think it's number 14. Katie Foster. It was Katie Foster High School, right? You know what I'm saying? So, this guy is literally from the area, you know what I'm saying? But he's 6'5", man, 6'4", 6'5", 220 pounds. So this is a big guy. And the way they use him, listen, they use him in the running game. He's a pretty athletic gentleman, right? And so they're going to look to use this guy in the running game. He's a part of the running game. And so it's going to be interesting. Like I said, when you check out the film review, you'll see some of the ways they kind of use them. Also, they definitely roll with this 2 running back set, right? 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, right? And they'll use one running back as like a lead blocker, almost like a fullback, right? They also a running inside zone or a fake it right and pull the other running back right and go in this option and kind of have an option with the quarterback and the running back. So, they definitely have a unique way of coming, you know what I'm saying? And they like to run the ball, right? That's what they want to do. Let's look at the box score, man. So you look at first quarter, this game was 14-14. Obviously 34 and answer points between the second and third quarter for Tulsa, and then 14 points in the fourth quarter for both Northwestern and Tulsa. And that was really, that's really garbage time, third stringers in. But again, listen, you scoring against third stringers in the FBS program, hey, I take it, right? You know what I'm saying? Quintarius Hawkins is the backup. This is the guy who came over from Grambling. Many of y'all remember him from 2 years ago. We played against him. He was a starting quarterback under Hugh Jackson at Grambling and State Fair Classic. So he's the backup QB there, right? Definitely a lot smaller than JT, but JT is really the guy that they roll with. But I wanted to show you guys the drive chart, right? We'll look at the individual score real quick, though. But I really want to show you guys the drive charts. So, again, JT fired, right, was 5 of 14 for 55 yards. So, again, not putting the ball in the air a lot at all, right? Only 14 attempts for him. Again, that was through like 3 quarters. You know what I'm saying? So only 14 attempts. But look, they want to put the ball on the ground. So 34 rushing attempts, right? You know what I'm saying? Again, he himself had 6 attempts. And so these are not just like scramble attempts, right? You know what I'm saying? Of course, 1 or 2 of those were actually, him being chased, right, and getting sacked. But about 4 of those were actual, QB powers, right? You know what I'm saying? So he definitely runs the ball on the ground. But now you see Kenneth Lacey, 7 attempts, 72 total yards and a touchdown. That second play of the game, right? We ripped one for 75 yards, and really, Tulsa was just misaligned, honestly. I mean, it's just a broken play from him on the defensive side. But if you look, right, he had a 75-yard run, and his net was 72. So obviously he didn't do nothing the rest of the game. But he and Zay Davis are their 2 guys. Also, Chance Newman, this is a tight end. But you see, right, 4 rushing attempts, right? But they use him in the running game. They use him in the passing game as well. He only had 1 catch this game, though, for 18 yards, but they do use him in the passing game as well. So they definitely, have a unique way, right, of putting the ball on the ground. I would say that, right? Now, one thing that was interesting when I saw them, sometimes, right, when they go to they have like this quick passing game, and literally all 5 of their linemen are basically like chop blocking the D line, right? They're chop block the D line, and literally the center just lies down. It's kind of crazy, right? And I was like, man, this could be trouble, right, for them, because one, the quarterback got to get the ball out quick, right? Because that's literally just, that's just their style. It's the scheme they got, right? They literally the whole line chop blocks, try to chop block the defensive line, right? And they just lay down, and he's trying to get the ball out quick. Now, one play, right? One of the plays was one he hit with the tight end on like the 18-yard pass. But then I saw another play where, man, the first guy wasn't open. He went to the second read. By the time he got to the second read, he's on the ground, right? Because literally, the whole line is laying down, right? So it's crazy. So it's definitely one of those things where I'm like, man, I'm pretty sure we come back throughout the year, we're gonna see him with a couple interceptions. And if we actually go back and look at the plays where he got picked off, that play to me is like, man, that's a DB's dream, a safety's dream, because he got to get the ball out, right? He got to get the ball out. So that's going to be interesting, because I saw them do it at least 3-4 times. I only watched like the first half, right? So I'm like, okay, this is definitely something that's a part of their repertoire. So that's going to be pretty interesting, right, to see if our D line could get to them, right, when that is a part of their scheme, and also how our DBs and our safeties play that, right? You know what I'm saying? Because again, you definitely got to play it right, because you definitely don't want to bite on anything and then get beat over top, especially if the D line can't get home. But yeah, man, that's going to be really interesting to see. But let's look at the drive chart. Let me see. He said that's definitely a winnable game. Say who I roll with. Well, you got to roll with Cam Peters, man. I mean, I think that's who you got to roll with. I think he definitely had a little spark in the second half when he came in last week. And I've always been high on Cam Peters. That's been the guy that I always was high on anyway. So I'm not really saying nothing new right now. If you guys have watched the channel for the last couple months, that's who I've been talking about. So we'll see. He'll have a chance this week to show if he really is that guy. You know what I'm saying? And so we'll see this week. So Northwestern scored on their first play against Tulsa, long run. Yep, 75-yard run. Made some major adjustments for this game. Can't wait to see how they perform. Yeah, I can't wait to see how the performance is this Saturday either, right? So let's look at the drive chart real quick. As you see, right, that first one was the touchdown, 2 plays for 75 yards. Tulsa punted, 3 plays, 2 yards. Then Northwestern State, 5 plays, 23 yards, and a punt. And then the next drive was a 7-play, 80-yard drive for Tulsa. They threw a long touchdown pass. That was really good. The other thing, right, is that's going to be interesting this week too, right? And even listening to Coach Bubba, he talked about how we really didn't lean on the run. That's the one thing that against TSU that I think all of us, even in the stands, were saying, hey, we haven't established the run. We haven't established the run. And so made it tough because it seemed like in the second half, TSU really settled down on defense, right? And at the end of the day, listen, if you don't fear the RPO because, hey, listen, these guys is not handing this ball off, man, the defensive line can just tee away and know, hey, listen, we're just going to get to the quarterback because I don't even believe that you're going to put the ball on the ground. And I think that probably made it a little bit tougher in the second half than it would have had to be if we would have actually established the run in the first half. And so when you look at this, the defensive setup for Northwestern, though, they play this 3-3-5, right? And so there's going to be a lot of opportunity for us to run the ball for sure, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting to see how we take advantage of that. Also, I see a lot of, because that's the alignment, that's their base alignment, you see a lot of plays where the DBs are, especially the corners, the wide corners are 10 yards off the receiver. And so, again, you saw Tulsa definitely using that quick game, hitches, right? You know what I'm saying? Comeback routes, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm going to be interested to see if we take advantage of those things as well, because that's really how Tulsa was able to gash them in the running game. And you got to realize Tulsa ran for 328 yards this game. I don't know if y'all know. Did y'all see that stat there, right? Tulsa, let me see, team rushing 328 yards game. Net total 323. Sorry, my bad. 323. You know what I'm saying? Net 323 yards, man. I don't care if it's you playing Pee Wee, you playing D3, you playing NAIA. That's a lot of rushing yards. That's a lot of rushing yards. All right. So listen, I don't care what you're talking about. And still throw for 300 passing yards. That's a lot. Listen, that's a lot. So that's a lot of rushing yards on the ground. But to me, it's just a part of their alignment, right? You know what I'm saying? 3 down, 3 linebackers. You know what I mean? 5 on the back end. Listen, we should be able to run the ball. If we can't run the ball, it's going to be a long game, right? That's what I'm going to say. Can't run the ball, it's going to be a long game. The other, like I say, after that, man, you don't see in Northwestern doing anything really. 4 plays, 7 yards, 5 -13. And again, this is against D1 competition, right? So we can't, you got to premise it there. But after that first drive, right, touchdown, you don't see much until the fourth quarter. They had the 2 touchdowns, and the second touchdown that they scored in the first quarter was actually off a punt, a field goal block. They picked up and ran it back, right? So it wasn't that the offense scored. It was off of special teams. So that's something to remember as well. It said their D line seemed to play gap, not a lot of up the field pressure. Seemed kind of lazy to me. So it's so I like 95 and 90. I forgot their names, right? I like both of them guys. They're on the right side, right? So Mr. Bowers, your son is gonna have an opportunity to go up against these guys, right? Because they're on his side of the ball. I like both of them though, right? You know what I'm saying? I think they played fairly well. Obviously, again, they playing against D1 competition, but yeah, I don't think that they were I don't think that their D line is anything crazy. Now, I will say 95 is a big guy. I think he's 355 pounds. So it's gonna be interesting to see how we, coming off of last week, handle the assignments up front, especially with who we decide to double team, etc. In the run game. Because I think last week I feel like we should have gave more help to the tight ends, right? Because it seemed like the tight ends or getting beat a lot, you know what I'm saying, on the edges and on the ends. And that kind of disrupted passing game. It also disrupted, you know, the run game. So it's going to be interesting to see kind of how I think we scheme that out this week. But 95 in the middle is a big guy, right? Now, everybody else, offensive line for Northwestern, you know, they're comparable with us. You know, defensive line outside of my guy in the middle, they're comparable with us, right? So I think this is really going to be a very, very good game for Northwestern and for us to judge where we are, both of us, right? You know what I'm saying? Because as Ty said, I think this is, Truth Seeker said, I think this is a winnable game, right? The question is going to be, what kind of adjustments have we made in order to be able to get this win? The last thing I'm gonna say, man, is I want to pull up this stat here too, because I think this was something that you guys that's gonna play a factor. Because last week, and it's not here. Let me see. Is it in the individual? There we go. So leading tackle was Blake Gotcher, also, right? And Danny Sears, another guy who played really well. You know, at the linebacker spot too for them. So now the other thing I was gonna say is, man, I want you to look at this. When we talk about punting and kickoff, we're going to have an opportunity in special teams to allow special teams to help us win this game, because I think one place where we see that we've gotten stronger, it is in the special teams. Obviously last week 3 for 3, right? 54-yarder, right? By Guillermo, right? So, you know, the kicking game we've seen, right, as far as field goal kicker, you know, we're doing well in that arena. Obviously, last year we won 2 games on field goal tries, and also I think we did well, right, in punt coverage this past week. Now, kickoff coverage is probably the one place where I say I think we need to tweak it, right, because that TSU last week had a couple good kickoff returns, you know, past the 30-yard line that set them up, you know, in good field position. So I want to see how we handle that this week. But now, when we talk about what I saw from Northwestern, listen, because I look and I was saying, man, they averaged 38 yards punting. At first, I was thinking, okay, but then I look and say, okay, we had 3 inside the 20, so that's pretty good, right? But I did see one that, I mean, it was low, it was line drive, and only went like 35 yards, right? 35, no, things like 37 yards, if I remember correctly, right? And that's the one that he returned for a touchdown. So I'm like, So I'm looking at just the punting for Northwestern, saying, okay, listen, they're going to give us an opportunity to return some punts. That's going to be good for us, right? Because we can lean on special teams to help us to win this game. Another thing, on the kickoffs, Northwestern never kicked the ball past the 10-yard line, right? The average is about the 13-yard line, I believe, right? If you look at the average of on their kickoffs, right, 52.4 average, that placed the ball around the 13-yard line, right? And if you look at them when they kicked off, right, that's exactly where the ball hit, 12-yard line, 13, 14-yard line. Again, right, that means that gives us a great chance, right, to return some kickoffs, right? Because these kickoffs are not, you know, high and hanging. You know, the punts are not high and hanging. So I'm really going to want to pay attention to this return game, you know, this week as well, and see how we do in a return game, because I think we definitely have an opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to make some noise in a return game as well. So I don't know what you guys' thoughts are on that, man. I think this is definitely a game that's going to be I think it's going to be pretty evenly matched, you know, from what I see so far. Now, I want to show you guys, I wanted to show you guys one play. I want to show you guys a play, right, that I think sums up 2 plays that can kind of help you to understand why I've been a little bit more calm when you talk about, you know, where we at. Because at the end of the day, I think we are not in worse of position as I think even the score of this last game may have made it seem. And so let me see if I can find this. All right. I'm gonna find this play for you guys, and I'm gonna run it for you. All right, there we go. All right, so let me share this with you guys. And again, if you call the number 516-253-3434, 516-253-3434. Let me share this screen with you guys. And I'm just gonna show y'all these first 2. Listen, this is the first 2 plays. First 2 plays. All right. It's just the first 2 plays. All right. You guys can see that, right? Okay, good. Y'all can see it on my screen. Now, I want y'all to see this. We got two on each side, right? Two receivers on each side. But now I want you guys to look and see the ball is on the left hash, right? The ball is on the left hash here. And I want you to look at all that green space on the right side. All of the green space on the right side, right? And I'm gonna run this, right? You know what I'm saying? And I just want to show you guys again. So the issue isn't that the plays aren't there. And when I just looked at the first two plays, I got a lot more comfortable, Okay. This is hey, listen, this is one play here, one play there, right? That could completely change the trajectory of the game this past weekend. So I'm gonna run this play, right? And I want you guys to check this out. And I'm gonna run it back too as well afterwards, right? You know what I'm saying? And obviously he runs out of bounds, throws it out late, right? So it actually gets put on that spot, right? So let's run it back, right? I want you to see. I don't got no marker. I can't mark, right? But the receiver at the top, right, is Shamar Savage, right? Then I believe it's Ethan John right there at tight end. And then you got Jeremiah Ratliff that's running across, right? And I want you to see, listen, this is the first play you got to understand the reality, right? First play of the first game for individual, right? This is the first time, right? So I can imagine that even though he's played well throughout practice and things of that nature, at the end of the day, you get in the game and you're gonna have some jitters. That just is what it is, right? And especially being put in this position, the defense just got you a turnover, right? The worst thing you want to do is get a ball away again in this position, right? But I just want you to see that from a scheme standpoint, that wasn't what the issue is, right? It's just getting people to refocus, right? Make the right reads and listen and let the ball rip, right? So I want you to watch this. Listen, watch this here. And look, right here, when he started to make this break, listen, just throw the ball to the pylon. Listen, just throw the ball to the pylon at the end of the day. Listen, if Shamar catches it, he catches it. If he don't catch it, don't catch it. But that's a lot of green space between that hash and out of bounds. That just is what it is, right? I mean, this either incomplete pass or touchdown, one or another. And listen, if we the one thing I said when I watched it, I'm like, listen, if we were at LSU, you eating this ball, you might get set down for eating this ball. Okay, that's just the reality of the situation. You at Florida State, you might get sit down for eating this ball because the play is there. All right, it's not that the play is not there. And again, for me, I'm like, okay, that makes me a lot more comfortable, right? Because if one thing is like, man, nothing is there, nothing's available. All right, cool, that's different, right? But listen, this is here. Just throw the ball at the pylon. Either you catch it, you don't. You either miss him or you don't. But like, that's the play. And listen, that play could change the trajectory of the game, right? So this play one, right? This just play one. Now I'm gonna let me see if I can. And you see that separation he got, right? So that was play one, right? Let me fast forward this. I want you to look at the second play. This is just the second play of the game, right? I'm just looking at the first two plays. But the more and more I looked at the game and watched back, it's just a microcosm of what was there. And this is from the offensive side of the ball, obviously, right? You know what I'm saying? Not from the defensive side of things, but just from the offensive side of the ball. All right. Here we go. I don't know what the SWAC ref's doing. All right, here we go. I want you to watch the tight end here. All right. I want you to watch the tight end that leaks out. Now you see him right here on the left side right now, right? Got two at the top, one receiver at the bottom, tight end, and got the running back on the left side in this play. All right. So now it's trips right. Watch the tight end. Just watch him leak out. Look right here. You see. I think that's Jacob Williams, and I can't see I don't know what the number of the other guy is, right? You see Shamar Savage running that drag route across both of their face. Look right behind them. What you see there? Tight end. Is he open? Yes, he is. He's wide open, right? Nobody's behind him. Nobody's within 5 feet of him, probably 6, 7 feet of him, and they run in a different direction. Right? That's touchdown, right? Listen, that makes me more comfortable. At the end of the day, it's not that it wasn't there, right? Hey, listen, we didn't score it, he didn't see it, but was it there? That's my question, right? Was it there? Yes, it was there. The fact that it's there makes me more comfortable, okay? Because as I look at this game, I see a lot of this. What you're seeing here, listen, it's a lot of this. It's just a lot of little misses, right? Listen, boys put the ball on the ground, boys drop the ball. Listen, even if guys don't drop the ball, it's a completely different game, right? And so I'm saying all that to say that's why I'm comfortable, because a lot of people try and figure out why I'm so comfortable, why I'm not up in arms, why I don't feel like the end of the world is here. The end of the world can't be here when, first of all, the SWAC West winner of the last 4 years has had 2 or 3 losses anyway. It's been 2 or 3 losses anyway for the SWAC West winner. So I can't feel that the game and that the season's over because we lost 1 game. Come on, guys. That don't even make sense, right? That's the first thing. Secondly, listen, I know TSU schedule too. And they had a tough schedule this year, right? So they have 7 more SWAC games. Now, listen, if they win all 7 of those, hey, listen, you just take your hats off. You can't do nothing about that. They went 8-0 in the SWAC. Ain't nothing you can do about that, right? But the reality is probably going to be that they're probably going to drop 1 more game, if not 2 more games, right? So there's a chance that you have, right, to get back into the fray of things, right? If you can correct some things that are often that are wrong. Just by looking at how the West has been won the last 3-4 years, right? Teams are going to drop games. The question is, who do you drop games to? That's the question, right? You drop one to a SWAC West opponent, right? Definitely can't drop no more. So, but again, that's why I'm like, listen, I'm comfortable. I can't be nothing but comfortable, right? When I look at, hey, Coach Anthony Whedon schemed it up. It's not that the plays wasn't there. Not the guys wasn't open. Boys just wasn't hitting the guys was open. This is what it is. Boys just dropping the balls that's in their hands. This is what it is, right? So I'm very comfortable. Like, my feet is up. I'm sitting cozy in my bandwagon because I'm truly expecting this game to be a good game. As QK say, right? This is a game that we definitely should be able to win and be able to bounce back and get an out-of-conference FCS win in, right? Yeah, exactly. Light toss pass to underneath route as well for 4 to 6 yards. That and on that first play, right? So I ain't even want to say, but like the truth is, you had Savage for really a touchdown. If you don't want to go to Savage for a touchdown, really you can go to Ratliff, right? And now you got the safety coming down, but if you just go ahead and give him the ball, he got a chance to beat him to the outside, right? He got a chance to get back inside if he wants to. I mean, at minimum, 4 or 5 yard gain, right? And that's if the guy just a sure tackler. But the truth is, he beats one man. That's a touchdown, right? And not to say, obviously, as well, right? If we run that play back again, right? You also got Chris Heron that's coming across his face too. So the truth is, you really have multiple options on the play. Again, right? First play, first game. I understand. Listen, I can understand. Because the main thing he's saying is, I don't want to get his ball away after we got this ball. So I can understand that, right? But I'm just saying, it's not that the play wasn't there. It's not that it wasn't open. Again, second play. It's not that it wasn't there. It's not that it wasn't open, right? You just missed them, right? You know what I'm saying? So that puts me in a way more comfortable space. And at the end of the day, I liked how the defense played. So what I noticed was on his first 3 possessions, he was looking for lanes rather than throw. Could have been nerve. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I really think that's what it is. You can't take away the fact that this individual has been highly touted. I mean, he's a guy who was on its own, had a TV show, right? Guy who went to Arkansas SEC, went to U of H, right? And even though he battled, even though he was, second string on some places, sometimes, some situations, right? He never had a chance to find himself really on the field for real. And now he comes down to SWAC, to PV, right? To a program where you say, okay, if this is a guy at this caliber, he should be able to win this job. He won the job in fall camp. He's coming in, it's his first game. I can understand why there's some first game jitters. I can understand that, right? Now, that doesn't mean you don't got to perform, but I'm just saying I can understand, right, why he may have swallowed this ball, right, instead of just going ahead and rip it. Because really, if he rip it, it's probably a touchdown to Savage. Let's be honest, right? I mean, if you just look at how Shamar Savage played the rest of this game, I mean, one pass he took like a 2-yard pass and got like 18 yards off of it, and so the same guy who covered him here, I mean, he literally just shrugged his shoulders and the guy flies off of him, right? So probably going to catch the ball, right? Hopefully catch the ball. If you drop it, that's a whole nother conversation, right? My point is just let it rip. You know what I'm saying? Because it's there. I think Cam Peters is going to start because Coach Bubba did come on and say that Cooley is going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks with a shoulder injury. So right now it's Cam Peters and Jaden Johnson. But I'm pretty sure that Cam Peters is going to get the start. I mean, I ain't in the locker room or nothing, but I'm sure Cam Peters is going to get the start. So he has a chance to solidify over his next couple of weeks because that's 4 weeks. I mean, he's going to be out. I mean, he basically got a chance to beat Southern, to beat Grambling. And if he beats them, you're probably not gonna come back with Cooley, to be honest, right? If Cam starts and he beats Southern and Grambling, one, you're probably now back in a position where you might be now in this chance where you got like, hey, now you're just looking over at TSU and seeing how long they can hold on, right? But you're getting past, 2 of your biggest SWAC West opponents. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what EA is talking about. He's crazy. But no, listening to actions for yourself for false propaganda. Oh man, you tripping, guy. All right, so listen, that's all I'm saying, man. So I'm still super confident, in this team. Unlike my guy EA here, you know what I'm saying. I'm still super confident in this team. I'm still super competent and comfortable in our ability to get the job done. I'm just waiting for this Northwestern game, right? So all of those things that we saw, all those mistakes that we made, right? Even when you talk about the defense, right? I know they're gonna go back and look at the film and say, hey man, we got, even though we're trying to get to the pass, we're trying to get to the quarterback, we also got to have some lane integrity, especially on blitzes, right? You know what I'm saying? Because that's what killed us on those 2 big runs for KJ Cooper, right? Really just didn't have lane integrity. So, it's not that the plays wasn't there though, right? It's like, hey, these little things that we got to correct, and if we correct them, we're gonna be good. The biggest thing for me is like, it's not that the talent isn't in the room. That'd be one thing, right? If you're just getting beat, that's one thing, right? But the talent is there. It's just like, man, we got to make the right reads, right? You know what I'm saying? We just got to do our part, right? And not try to be Superman on defense. Just do our part. Let the other guy come clean it up, and we're gonna be straight, man. So I also think the offensive line. I also think, right, the offensive line. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, is gonna have a chance to get it going this week too. I think one thing for sure that you're gonna see from the team, Coach Bubba's already said that we're going to, hey, listen, we're gonna seek to establish the run and run the ball, right? So I think you're gonna see a lot more carries this week for both Connor Wisham, Lamaje McDowell. Again, last week only 10 carries between both of them, right? 5 carries each. Listen, you got some dynamic backs. You got to get on the ball, right? And so you saw what they were able to do through the air. Taking a short pass. Connor Wisham went 26 yards. So, in the passing game, yes, but also in the running game. And like I said earlier, for y'all who came on late, right? Northwestern runs a 3-3-5, right? So there's gonna be opportunity to establish the run game, and I think that's gonna help this offensive line to really settle down and really just settle into their own, so that then as the running game gets established, they can now, right, be a lot better in the passing game. Because what's gonna help slow down that pass rush is them respecting the RPO action. Like at the end of the day, what's gonna help the pass rush get slowed down is them respecting the RPO action. But if they don't respect the RPO action and they're just pinning their ears back, then listen, there's nothing you can do. And I think last week, like I said, third, fourth quarter, TSU at that time had said, listen, they not handing this ball off. Go get the quarterback, right? So they no longer respected the RPO action, as they shouldn't have, because we wasn't running the ball, right? So they did exactly what they're supposed to do. Play very solid. I'm so interested in seeing TSU through the rest of the year, because Chris Dishman had them playing very solid, very sound. Only 2 penalties last week too. That's another thing that killed us. 9 penalties for 89 yards. TSU only 2 penalties of 25 yards, right? So they did great And the penalties, right? I mean, 89 yards is a whole football field. That's a touchdown, basically, right? We gave up an extra touchdown because of the penalties. And that's really what happened. Because on defense, 2 of the penalties kept drives going. They gave them a field goal, and they ended up getting a touchdown, right? And both of those are third down plays where we got those penalties, right? Both face masks, calls, right? One was roughing the passer, face mask, and the other one was a face mask, right? When we tackled them for a sack. So listen, that's on us though, right? You know what I'm saying? But like I say, these are things that definitely, can be tweaked and that we can get done. If they got definitely got to wrap up tackles for sure. You know what I'm saying? Definitely got to wrap up the tackles for sure. You know what I mean? So, Mr. Campbell, glad to have you in the building. I saw them. I'm gonna have to run that back. I saw you guys over on there with Coach Cozy. So I didn't get a chance to watch it live, obviously, but I'm gonna have to run that back because I definitely want to hear what you got to say, what you got to share. And yeah, listen, the run game wasn't there, man, last week. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to you, bro. You know what I'm saying, for what you're doing for your podcast and stuff. But listen, the run game wasn't there. We didn't. That's on us though, because we didn't really try to establish the run, right? We really didn't try TSU defense, to be honest, from a run game perspective. So the truth is we don't know yet. I don't think whether TSU has a great defensive line that can stop the run or not, because we didn't even try to establish the run at all, right? You know what I'm saying? And again, that's just on us though. That's all it is. That's really on us. So I think this week we're going to be a lot more sound. We're going to be a lot more sound because I already know the boys got chewed up all week. All right. So we're going to be a lot more sound in our assignments, a lot more sound, especially on offense and our reads, right? As far as that RPO action, as far as running the ball, handing that ball off, right? You know what I'm saying? And letting the offensive line, hey, put their head down and move forward. And I think that's going to help right in the passing game as well, obviously, because we got dynamic receivers too. The question is, you know what I'm saying? The question is, right, making sure we can get them the ball. And we got them the ball last week. They got to also catch the ball too. That's the other thing. So, all right. What we also got here? Said the mass meeting. Yeah. PVAMU mass meeting. We don't do mass meetings over here. So I don't got nobody on the call line, man. Hey, listen, yeah, you talking about in the first quarter. I'm not gonna lie. I thought we were gonna run the ball too, right? I mean, listen, that's what you went and got Lamagier for, right? Big 6'2", 220. That's what you got him for from Campbell. For times like these, right? You know what I'm saying? For times like this. So I thought we was gonna run the ball more, man. But listen, we didn't. But hey, this is all it's all in the learning process, right? And so the thing is, those mistakes we made against TSU, we learn from those, right? You implement them. I think it's going to be a completely different game this weekend. Listen, I got it 27-23 PV. That's what I got it, 27-23 PV. Listen, I didn't have a chance to get all my graphics together for this. You know what I'm saying? I was running around early today, right? So y'all forgive me for that. But I got it 27-23 Prairie View, all right? I know a lot of people got this as a 2-touchdown win for Northwestern, et cetera, right? And again, Northwestern's going to challenge from an offensive side standpoint, though. They're going to really challenge our discipline as a defense. They're going to challenge us, right? Because that big run, Tulsa just wasn't disciplined, right? Our defensive ends got to be disciplined, right? Because the quarterback, he got some go. He got some get up. He's very athletic and he's big, all right? And they got 2 running backs that they can use, right? And they have a lot of 2 running back sets, like I said, where they even use one of the running backs as a lead blocker, right? So they're really going to try us from a running perspective, and they want to run the ball. They want to establish the run. So we're going to really see if we bought that trench mob life this game against Northwestern State. You know what I mean? I didn't see them do anything super dynamic through the air, right? But definitely, man, they want to establish the run. They want to use their quarterback as a part of that run package. So we're going to see, man, what's going to happen. But I really think we're going to be able to take it. What I feel, though, is we're going to be able to take advantage of, them from on the run game, right? Because I think we're going to be more particular to run the ball this game. And like I said, I think we're going to win the special teams battle. We're going to win that battle hands down. And so that I feel like also is really going to help us a lot. I'm saying it right now, right? I think I'm not going to say we're going to return a kickoff for a touchdown, but I think for sure we're going to at least return one kick past the 50-yard line, right? Because they give us a chance. They give us a chance for some returns, both in the punting game and the kickoff game, and that's going to be super, 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 super big. So Adrian got a 43-3. You know what I'm saying? Northwestern. Yeah, that would be crazy. Let's see. We win this weekend if we dominate both sides of the trenches. Offensive line needs to play big this week. Yeah, for sure. I think they're gonna get their chance this week. This week they're gonna say, "Hey, listen, that's on us." This week, hey, it's on y'all. Y'all gonna show us. Y'all gonna lead us to the promised land or not, right? Because we got the running backs to do it. So now it's gonna be leaning on the offensive line. Say, "Hey, you're gonna create the spaces. You're gonna create the creases." Now, I would say too. I think some of our best sets this last week against TSU came in our 2 receiver, 1 running back, 2 tight end sets, right? You know, that 12 personnel. That was some of our best plays was in that 12 personnel sets, right? Both running and passing, right? So I'm really going to be interested to see how Coach Whedon kind of mixes in that particular personnel grouping, right? This week, because I think this is going to be really, really, I think it's going to be really, really interesting, you know what I'm saying, to see that. You know what I'm saying? So the SWAC needs to win, especially for out of country. Yeah, for sure, definitely. That's against Northwestern too. And I think Grambling beat Northwestern 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Right? So, you know, the SWAC has beaten Northwestern before. You know, this is not a McNeese. You know what I'm saying? Zach, do you know anything about the quarterback over at Northwestern? You know, JT, we've got, I think, Fayard, whatever his last name, right? He's 6'5", 220, coming out of Katy. You know anything about him? Yeah. I think this is a big game. You know what I'm saying? I think this is a big game for us. You know, like I say, and not from a standpoint of like, man, if we lose this game, like the world is over type of thing. But I think it's a big game from the standpoint of what we look like, right? Like if we look bad this game, now we got to come back and have a different conversation and reevaluate everything that we've been talking about, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, listen, we got the mulligan already, right? We got the mulligan against TSU. You ain't got no more mulligans, right? You know what I'm saying? Now you got to really start putting it together and prove that you are that team that you believe you are, right? And it's gonna start this week for sure. He said we're gonna. Hey, listen, Jess, I'm with you. I think we're gonna beat them again. You know, I think we're going to beat them too as well. So, like I said, I got it 27-23. Y'all drop y'all scores in the comments. I see Adrian got it 43-3 Northwestern. I mean, that would be crazy. And again, I think that, listen, them boys do need some stickum because I think I counted 4 drops from the tight ends last week, right? So, and that's what I'm saying, though. So, I'm like, scheme-wise is not the issue. We put the ball on the ground, 7 drops total all the way around, right? Receivers, tight ends, 7 drops total all the way around. You know what I'm saying? You can't put the ball on the ground like that. So that's one. That's on us. You know what I'm saying? And then we just miss some stuff, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. But I really, like I said, when I went back and watched it, I'm like, I just got way more comfortable. As soon as I put the film, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm way more comfortable. All right, it wasn't like a thought. And I know people talk about the defense too. I really think the defense played extremely well. You know what I'm saying? I really think the defense played extremely well. You know what I'm saying? They kept us in the game all throughout the game. They kept us in that game, right? And as I told one of the players, listen, if you only give up 20 points, then we supposed to win that game, right? If you give up 20 points, this game we're supposed to win. So that's my thoughts on that. So let's see these scores. I wouldn't be surprised if they go with Hawkins this week. I wasn't impressed with the other kid. Okay, that'd be interesting. I know we played against Quintarius Hawkins at Grambling 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So I do remember Hawkins from that time. So I don't know. I mean, the way it seems like they want to run the ball a lot, right? And And that quarterback is a really big kid, 6'5", 220. And so it makes sense of how they kind of use him, in the run game and kind of as a part of their run packages. So that's kind of why I feel like they're still going to lean on him. He's a red shirt freshman kid, you know what I'm saying? So, and they really Northwestern's in a rebuild, right? So really they're not pressed to put the senior in anyway. Just got it 21-14 us. Q got 31-28. Hey, listen, I would love us to put up 31 points. You know what I'm saying? I would love to put up 31 points. AD Grimes, he's still Hey, listen, he's still down with this 18-14. Listen, the shirts. Hey, listen, everybody got their shirts. They wearing their shirts. We good over here, man. And listen, we good over here. All right. 4 quarters of football, 21-14 PV, 17-14. Truth said you gave me 2 scores, so I guess 17-14 the one you going with. You know what I'm saying? Jess got her shirt. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. And then yes, listen. I'm trying to say, man, like I always say, you gotta go. You can't just look at the box score a lot of times, right? You gotta go back and look at the game and look at the floor of the game and look at how things happen. And I want to say this, right? About again, it's a new year, new team. But when I go back last year and look at the defense, this was similar. The same thing you saw this past Saturday was the same thing we saw last year. The defense actually played very well. That the defense, would give you the ball 3 and outs in a row, right? Hey, have a tough drive where they stop them and force a punt, right? Or hey man, they stop them, they bend, don't break, and only give up a field goal. Like throughout the game, like they're giving you chances. Like, hey, offense, please, like just score. That's all we need you to do, right? And so again, if we give up 20 points, we should win that game. Any game we give up 20 points, and like I say, the score was 27-9. But the reason I'm saying it is because that last score was we went forward on 4th and 14 from like our 10-yard line, whatever it was, right? And then of course I think 20 or something, right? And they ran the ball and scored on the last play. So I'm looking at the trajectory of the game, though, right? Like because typically if we would punt that ball, we would punt it deep, right, etc. So I'm like, okay, 20 points was where the marker was. You couldn't score 20 points. That's not our problem as a defense. Like honestly, offense, that's your problem. Like you got to figure that out. All right, we did our job. All right, so the defense did their job, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I need my photos in the shirt because people out here thinking we playing. You know what I'm saying? I be having my. I make sure I keep wearing my shirt so people know I ain't playing. I ain't joking. I'm comfortable listen. I'm on the bandwagon comfortable. I got a whole seat to myself because I told you it's not over yet. Y'all think it's over? We just started the movie. Why not PV? That's right. Jerry got it 24-10. So I'm interested, man. Hey, listen. Recap show. Make sure y'all check it out. Man, we got some really, really. I'm telling you, man, my boy QK, he hooked us up. You know what I mean? Listen, he hooked us up, man, and he has looked out for all of you guys who have been checking out the channel because, we are going to be bringing a special guest on Sundays who got football knowledge out this world. And listen, he's going to be new co-host for the recap. Of course, myself, of course, Mr. Kerry Mickens, are going to be on there as well. But hey, listen, this guy, you're not going to want to miss, checking him out and the commentary that he's going to be bringing because I think it's going to be super dope to get his perspective each and every week around HBCU football, SWAC football, and of course, obviously PVAMU and what we've been doing week to week. So listen, it's going to be interesting, man. I can't wait. So make sure y'all tuned in on Sunday at 8. When y'all call in on Sunday, I need y'all to apologize for talking crazy about PV because listen, it ain't over. Like y'all, why y'all tripping so quick? Like calm down, my guy. Calm down. I keep telling y'all we good. We straight. I really keep telling y'all. But it's okay. Listen, I understand though. Listen, we gave y'all the microphone. We literally gave y'all the microphone to talk crazy. All right, we gave y'all the microphone to talk crazy. TSU handled their business. We gave y'all the microphone to talk crazy. But it's okay. Just because it's only up from here. All right. So with that being said, man, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. Elvin, yeah, I need to see improvement too. Keep it up, fam. Got it 17-10 PV. You know what I'm saying? 80 Grimes said he need a shirt. Man. We out of shirts. You know what I'm saying? What size you need? I might get what size you need. Put your size in the chat. Let me see if I got one for you, because I only got like 2 left over. You know what I'm saying? So, it probably got to be one of them sizes. I ain't gonna lie, because yeah, we ordered those a while ago. Not sure if anyone on here is traveling to the game this weekend, but I'll be in the house. Road Warrior, Mr. Bowers, you know what I'm saying? There's a country storage of laughing gas. I say the PV shirts can. I don't even talking about EA. Like I'm confused. Like you gotta be more clear, and you gotta be funnier, because this you're missing me. You're missing me right now. So anyway, man, with that being said, man, I appreciate y'all for jumping on again. For y'all who are members of the channel, I got that film review of Northwestern that's gonna be dropping, so you guys are gonna be able to check that out. I'm gonna make sure I go ahead edit that up, so that way you guys can check that out. And each week I'm gonna be trying to do film reviews of the upcoming games, if possible, right? For the members of the channel. Appreciate all you guys, for coming and jumping on. Appreciate all you guys who came out the other day on Tuesday and shared your thoughts about the game day experience as well. Listen, PV Nation, we got to keep pushing it. All right, we got to keep pushing, because we are the one who create our own narrative. We are the one that tells our own story. And so we got to do those things, man, and get it going. So if you guys are traveling out to Northwestern, man, safe travels to all you guys. Hey, I can't wait to see you guys smiling and happy for the weekend as we handle business in Louisiana. All right. But until then, man, I'll holler at y'all. 2X, yeah, I don't got a 2X. I don't have a 2X. I don't got a 2X. Yeah. I'm sorry. I know you probably found out late. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't have a 2X. Because listen, I made them early so that way nobody could say like we ain't make them late. We ain't create them now. We made this early on. All right, early on. So you guys can know what's gonna happen to y'all. And I still hold on. Let me get my. Hold on. It's still happening. It's still happening. All right? Take a picture. Take a picture. It's still happening. We writing big checks. All right? We're writing big checks. All right? But until next time, man, I'm going to holler at y'all.